Hey everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach, providing SuperCoach content for you. I'm here to present the round 23 review. I'll keep this pretty short because I'm not really I'm in one league left and I won the league, but the SDS TikTok League, I am in the grand final for that. So wouldn't mind winning something in the Classic League. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, just wanted to start off by saying this video. Thank you to JD on Twitter. He announced that he will be stopping content after this season. So getting into content, certainly a few guys I looked at before starting, and JD was certainly one of them. So shout out to JD, has one of the best super coach minds out there. So uh, I guess as a super coach community, we thank him all the best for what he's done in the community and content wise. He's been fantastic. So shout out to JD. And yeah, I've actually got a suit behind me. I went to the Fancast producer's wedding, Dave Maguire. Shout out to him. Went to his wedding. Super good fun. It was the first time I was in Mel. So yeah, it was a really good time. Great wedding. Was with Swizz and Big J as well. If you guys know him from this, you guys should know them from the Supercoach community. But um, yeah, I think it was the first time I was in Melbourne and didn't go to a Hawthorn game. On Sunday, I was struggling. I was struggling big time. So I didn't go to the game. But of course, good to see the Hawks get up. All you got to do is beat North Melbourne and we feature in finals. So that's really the main focus for me. As I've mentioned a few times, I checked out a few weeks ago in Supercoach, but I guess to talk about, I'll leave it on a video on my own, but I guess real quick, I have some, I want a really good 2025 season on the game and also content wise. Been thinking of certain ideas. I'll do some research. So I think you'll see a lot more and a lot different style of content from me next season. Certainly some different ideas, that sort of thing. I'd like to start a podcast. Guess sort of the idea from me, I guess my early thoughts on it, there's still a lot more water to go under the bridge, but I guess early thoughts would be that I'd grab me and four other Supercoach content creators or Supercoach people don't have to be content creators, but a crew of five of us, and probably make sure that we have three of us available on each weekend on a Sunday night because I reckon the early Monday, Sunday night slash market isn't open yet. So I think that's probably the go. That's probably my early plans, me and four others. So there's five of us all up, three of us available each week to do a podcast. And that's how we sort of do it. Probably create a new, not sure if we'd create a new channel or whatever the case may be. As I said, there's a lot of water to go under the bridge, but I'd like to do a podcast in 2025. As well as other ideas, I'm going to look up certain content in other sport formats, whether that be FPL or I guess basketball or NFL. I'm going to look at all sorts of different type of content that they do, and I'll find a way to try to implement that. So yeah, some big plans, of course. I'd like to do some more live streams. I'd like to do some more ideas. I'd like to bring back jump on, jump off as well, whether that's a segment in the podcast or a segment I do with Brad for 2025. Certainly want to do more of that next year. So yeah, I've got some big plans for 2025, and I think you guys deserve it. I want this to be sort of a breakout year in terms of helping everyone a bit more and that sort of thing. So yeah, look, I'm hoping for 2025 can be sort of a breakout year as a Supercoach helper, content creator, that sort of thing. So that's sort of the idea. And yeah, just let me know what you guys would like to see in 2025. So yeah, scored 2,424 and we went up 501 spots in our season rank now is 8,373. Hopefully we can stay inside the top 10K rank because I will be copying a couple of donuts this week, unless a miracle happens with some debuts or whatnot. But yeah, look, I had a donut this week in my forward line, and the fact I went 2,424 is actually pretty good. Like this has been a better round 20 a round score in like a month, and I had one less player on the field. So certainly a much better week, and it was pretty positive. So I can't really do much about like, copping zeros or whatnot, because I think everyone here's ran out of trades. So yeah, as you'll see who I brought in for Charlie Curnow. Zero trades left. Da, 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 da. I brought in Joe Danaher. I said on Twitter I'd bring in Matt Kennedy, but I looked at this Collingwood matchup, and I looked at this Essendon matchup, and I thought they actually looked pretty good. So hopefully Joe Danaher can just pump out a score in the 80s there. And because Brisbane need a win, they need a win. So hopefully Joe Danaher can cut sick there. So yeah, I brought Joe Danaher in for Charlie Curnow. I was going to bring in Matt Kennedy, but when I saw Carlton didn't name it, and Janeth recommended me for him, but when I saw that Carlton didn't name like a key forward, I just thought, well, they're going to play Matt Kennedy a heap forward, so why not get an actual forward in Joe Danaher? So I think it was on like 43 points, 10 minutes into the game, something crazy like that. Anyway, so sorry, this hasn't been updated. My apologies. So we vice captained Zach Butters on the Saturday night. No problems with that. My fullback was Bont. What did he do? 123. No problems with that. So yeah, vice captain Butters. I've used Zach Butters like quite a lot this year in terms of captaincy. I'm trying to think of what weeks I used him. I used him for the Richmond game. I think I used him for the Collingwood game. I think I vice captained him for the Essendon game. The Geelong game, I captained. I used the vice captain on him. I've used him a lot, like a fair amount. Probably a couple of these scores here. I captained him in the Richmond game. That was pretty rough. Used him for the Melbourne game and used him for the Adelaide game. So I think he's been my most used vice captain or captain. I've had him for the whole year this year. So he's been a good pick from the very start. He's been one of my best picks of the year. So what else can we talk about here? Well, I can't believe I didn't mention this straight off the bat. Marty Hore, the Harry Sheasel replacement, got me a 103. He was on 69 at halftime. I was at the wedding reception, so I couldn't really see what was going on. But I saw him at 69 at halftime. I'm like, what is going on? We know he was a capable scorer, so it's a shame that he wasn't being used that much this season. It was a bit of a shame, and not sure if he's going to get a contract for Melbourne, but the way things are going, the amount of departures they could potentially have, he'll probably stay on the list. But yeah, Marty Hore, he's yeah, thanks, mate. I guess it was worth holding him this whole time. So there you go, Hayden Young. I'm going to really quickly go over this because none of us have got any trades. Really isn't much to talk about. This is the last round review of the season because round 24 is sort of a wrap up of the season. So Hayden Young, he was on 52 at halftime. I've got a feeling Bedford was tagging Sarong, then they swapped it to Young. I have no idea if that's correct, but with the uptick of Sarong and then the slowdown of Young makes me assume that Young got tagged in the second half. Luke Ryan, 68 rough. Dacos 116, that's pretty good. Houston, Peanut, he has got himself sent to the tribunal with a pretty shit hit on Isaac Rankin. So yeah, that really hurts. So yeah, I'll be copping two. Is it two donuts here? Wait. Yeah, two donuts. Wait, no. Wait, I'm tripping. One donut. I'll be copping one donut in the back line. I'll have Newman, Dacos, Hore, Ryan, and Young. I assume Houston. I assume Hore won't lose his spot. I would hope so after that sort of performance, especially in a Melbourne win. Bontempelli, 123, very solid. Tom Green, 143 against the Dockers. That I did not expect that. Freo don't tag though, so they're starting to leak themselves a little bit points wise. Gilden 84, I'm pretty surprised about. I didn't chuck the vice captain on him, but I was pretty surprised he was pretty poor. It wasn't too bad. As I said, we didn't have that many bad scores. Needed this out of Jordan Dawson, 143. That's immaculate. Walsh, I think the back injuries really killed him. I don't know why I grabbed him in the first place. So probably just a reminder why because you see the players that have been dealing with injury or that have been injured. Uh, more often than not, it's because they haven't had a full pre-season. And Sam Walsh didn't. I know he's played every game from since he's come back, but he just hasn't really shown his true self. Rosie 96. He's been solid. He's another one of those Dawson Walsh kind of picks. He's been solid. When I bring him in, I brought him in for the Dogs game. Sorry, he's been pretty good. He's been pretty good. So happy with Rosie there. And he's an interesting one for 2025. I might make that a separate video. None of these blokes played. Gorn 97. And it's pretty tough to ruck against Wits. Jackson 84. I've held him in this whole entire season, and I'm just begging that Darcy isn't injured to start the season next year, so it gives me an excuse not to start him because he's averaged what 94, so it's not horrendous, but there's too many of these games where just some really poor scores. Not really a bloke you want to start the season with. Probably more of a bloke at the back end of the season. He's your F7 sort of type. So Flanders 120, no problems with that. Sorko 108. Heaney, yeah, the forward line really held up very well, and it was just stiff that I copped a 0. My first 0, I think I mean, we're not counting the bye rounds. I think this is my first 0 in my content career. So we'll cop another one this week with down back. Hopefully Tim English comes back. That's really sort of the hope. But the forward line really held itself up pretty well. Yeah, we're just hoping that one of Dowling, English can get a game here. How do I avoid a donut? I think it's actually I don't think I can because Houston or Sheasel don't have mid status. So I actually can't swing El Hawley to the back line. So yeah, there's nothing I can do unless Will Dawson plays. I don't think Sheasel's going to play this week, but it'd be a miracle if he did. That'd be great. But yeah, Houston's definitely gone for like 4 or 5 weeks, suspension wise. So he won't feature in finals, I would have thought. Yeah, just hopefully no one gets rested, that sort of thing. So that's my team. Best case scenario for me is obviously 22 on field. If Sheasel could play or Will Dawson can get a weird cameo game, that would be great. Hore to hold his spot. If I can get one of English, Richards, Dowling, Brown, Hall to play, then we can avoid a donut here in this forward line. It's probably worst case scenario is having 20 on field this week. So yeah, vice captain, captain. I guess we can. I don't want to press optimize just in case it stuffs everything up. Um, let's just sort out the team. Yeah, it would look something like this. So vice captain and captain. Um, could Butters be? I don't know. I still don't trust Freo in Perth there, so I don't think I'll go Butters or Rosie or any of the Freo lads. I don't think. Carlton, Newman should go well, but I don't trust him as a captain still. Surely Bont's far too tall for Bedford. I don't know. They might try to figure something out there. So maybe not Bont, just because he'll get a lot of attention. Sydney, I mean, this feels like a game Goulden should go right. I wouldn't mind a vice captain on him, but not as a captain. Zorko, nah, probably not. This might be a very early use. So I think at this stage, how we're looking, because I like targeting Melbourne at the minute because they're all over the shop. Surely Melbourne don't use Neil Bullen's farewell game to tag Dacos. I mean, it's a dead rubber for both teams. I mean, can I just say it wouldn't be a dead rubber with a wild card round? Let's just point that out. Nick Dacos, vice captain, and we'll captain. I think Flanders, that's just extremely safe. So this is probably what we're roughly looking at here. Yeah, so we'll see how we go there. Yeah, certainly. I guess for this season, I'll save most of my content for. I might review all my trades in a video at some point this week. I'll do my season review probably on Monday, next week. Might do a separate video on 2025 plans, and I might do a video on changes I'd make to SuperCoach. So we'll see how that goes. I think this video, I might do a live stream with Brad this week to sort of wrap up the season, and then 3 more, and then a season review, trade review of the season, and also a 2025 trades and 2025 plan changes I'd make. Might also make a video on targets for 2025 as well. So that's another 4 videos after this potentially in the chamber, and then we'll look to take a break for until 2025 SuperCoach. But of course, there'll be other stuff that I do, like I'm going to be doing a podcast with Damo SuperCoach to talk about potential. So the host of the Footy Mailbag podcast, we're going to be doing a podcast every day on the off season, relevant SuperCoach players being traded or that sort of thing. So we'll be doing a podcast every day. So that should be exciting. So you'll expect to see that once the footy season is done. And yeah, they'll be certainly around the trade period, October. You know the drill there. So that'll go for about 10 days. We'll do a podcast, that sort of thing. So just reviewing what's happened and what relevant changes there could be for SuperCoach with certain players moving. Because we do see that a fair bit. Players become relevant when they change clubs. So there you go. All right. So yeah, that's the team. So yeah, we'll be doing that podcast. So if you're interested in SuperCoach trade stuff, then you guys can certainly look into that. I'd really do appreciate it. So that should be good fun. It's called the Moving Parts Podcast that me and Damo will be doing. So that should be good fun. So yeah, a few video ideas before the season's done. I'll certainly look to take a break in over September. I'll be in for the podcast in October. And then yeah, probably take a break and certainly work out some 2025 plans with some people and some content ideas. So yeah, look, I'm actually pretty happy with this round because I mean 2,424 with 21 players is pretty good. So we knocked off Tom's Toddlers there. So here we go for the grand final. I'm not feeling optimistic. Aussie's All Stars. So he's clearly had a trade because he doesn't have Sheasel anymore. So that instantly hurts me. English coming back would give me half a chance, but if he doesn't, then we're in a fair bit of strife. Does he have Dan Houston? I believe he does. Yes, he does. Hopefully he doesn't have another trade. Otherwise, I'm definitely stuffed there. So yeah, going to need a bit of luck to go my way. I'm going to need a nail of vice captain or captain. I think I'll certainly look to hide my captain with him there. Let's check out a couple of the leagues as well as we are heading into the grand final week. So how exciting is that? Let's have a look at some grand final stuff here. So for the SDS Times Pro League, the grand final, Vinny Q Quest and Degs Dogs, Tom versus Daniel. I haven't spoken to Brad about this, but I think it's pretty fair. Whoever wins the league gets access to this league every year forever. So I think that's pretty fair to do. So I wonder if Brad's in the final because he's been going. Yeah, Brad's in the final of the AFLX finals there. And then the SDS SuperCoach League, my own league, Crano SC versus Remembered to Wipe Jake. Whoever wins here gets access to my SDS SuperCoach League forever. If you can just contact me who you are, that sort of thing, then we'll look into that and I'll be sending you the code every year before it gets released. And then, yeah, we go from there. So, and that's unbelievable as well. 6th versus 8th. So it just shows, doesn't matter where you are in finals in SuperCoach, if you can just get through. I mean, Jake won by 3 points against Zane. That's stiff. First place lost to Jake there. He's having a Western Bulldogs kind of run here, Jake, where he's finishing pretty strong here. And Chrono has had a really good end to the season right here. He's had a really strong end. Yeah, 4,200. So I assume he's ran out of trades. That would be my guess. Yeah, some interesting players there, and then we can have a look at Road to Wipe Jake. 3,600 there. Yeah, nice. Okay, yeah, hopefully a good final there. And Mark of the Year, Riley, 180 rank. Unbelievable season from Riley, and shout out to everyone that has had a very good season there. So yeah, look, we'll probably wrap things up there. I guess plans between now and the end of the Supercoach season, I might do a video regarding my trades this year because I have had some pretty appalling trades this season. So I think for 2025, I'll certainly have to have a look at where it went wrong because past couple of years has gone pretty correctly what kind of trades I've made, but I've certainly fallen back on that this season. I'll have to have a look at my trade process over the past couple of years and see where I've gone wrong this year. So I'll review my trades. I might do a live stream with Brad this week if he's available, just to sort of wrap up the season, our final live stream before the season's done. I'll have a look at potentially changes I'd make for Supercoach. I guess I'll mix in, and I guess I'll say lessons learned in my season review, and also a 2025 video talking about who could be relevant, good price players, that sort of thing. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the coming videos. Cheers.